tla indicate hore ke saletswe ke nako e kae o ska tshaba.
Okay, doctor. All right, doctor. Okay. Share the screen.
O tla ba mute ba bang akere.
Doctor?
Ba bang o tla ba mute akere.
Hey, no. I'm not giving them a room.
Otselo. Kana company
Come mind think, doctor.
Mind Think, ne?
Mind think is Lechuti.
All right. Thank you. Next one, Lebal. Mind Think Institute. Host Mind Think. Mind Think Institute. Okay. What's it all? Come on. Baby, you go back Metsi a lukewarm, ne? O kapong feelings in center. Honey. No ma konza shibila ni semotso. What's our tips, kids, Anne?
All right.
How many minutes?
We are in. Okay,
so I'm not sure. Do we wait a few minutes?
So I'm not sure. Do we wait a few minutes?
Let me try something. I'll try something. I'll avoid. Yeah, you can. Sheba, Papa. There are people in already.
Yes, doctor. Yes. We have people already.
How many?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in for the second. This is sponsored by Mind Think Institute, which is an organization that works with personal and business leadership, which is performing enhancement in the Free State. So, in trying to assist those entrepreneurs who are hit hard by the all right. It seems to be. Please, can you just indicate if you can hear us clearly?
Doctor, please can you help us?
Can you want them to test if they can hear me?
Yes.
Please can you indicate if
Please can you indicate if raise the hands?
You can hear clearly.
Right. There seems to be here new doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen,
without wasting any time, I think we are exactly 2 minutes past 7. Online Entrepreneurial Survival 2020, the first ever to be hosted, and we are graced to be opening with our first speaker, which is Dr. G. Lechuti, which is familiar to most of us, to Dr. to take over the session, and then we will be asking questions and answers after her taking the presentation. Doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Ndatem Taung from Mind Think Institute. Thank you for the opportunity and for all the participants and the other panelists who will be participating in this program as of tomorrow night. I have been requested by you, Ntate Tapelom Taung and the Mind Think Institute to tackle the subject positive self-concept. And this is what I'm going to be addressing on and bred in the Free State. I grew up in the former Bophuthatswana homeland, which is now lost in Rustenburg. I operate in the space of coaching as a performance and productivity management coach. I'm an author. By the special grace of God, I've authored about 18 books and I've recorded 9 audiobooks. We run online at Shell. Thank you. Positive self-concept. Nobody can be who they believe they are without the input or the influence of the environment they find themselves in. In other words, the concept you have about yourself is informed by the environment that you are developed in. So environment plays a very key role, critical role in the formation of your self-concept, whether it be negative or positive, formed by the environment that you live in, the environment that you were raised in, and the environment that you operate in. So when it comes to the issue of self-concept, whether that concept is positive or negative is highly dependent on the environment that you live in and the environment that you were raised in. Now, the upbringing environment, you don't have much of a choice about the effects of the upbringing, and you cannot choose how the environment that you are brought up in impacts you in as far as the concept you have about yourself. It's only when you reach a side what you permit to access your mind and your heart, and what you allow to determine your thought pattern and your perception of self. But in a nutshell, your upbringing plays a foundational role with regard to positive self-concept. In other words, it is possible to view yourself negatively, and it is actually easy to view yourself negatively, because in most instances the contributing factors they sway easily towards the negative side. So many a time it's easy to have a negative self-concept. But the subject of tonight is, how do you develop a positive self-concept? So this is what I am tasked with addressing tonight. Now, there are the kind of concept you have about yourself. There are environmental elements that contributes to the type of concept you have about yourself, whether it is a negative. These concepts are informed by environmental elements, and I'm going to table these environmental elements which you have about yourself, whether it is a negative concept or a positive self-concept. But as I narrow the subject and wrap it up later, I'll focus more on positive self-concept. Now, the environment, what parents think and say about you, what parents think and say to you, what parents think and say about you, what parents think and say to you, express their thoughts about you, and how they express those thoughts to you. They could be talking to somebody about you. Their opinion about you, the emotional attachment that you have with parents gives them natural advantage of influence. The emotional attachment which you have with parents gives them no connection you have. So what parents think and say about you, what parents think and say to you, will determine the formulation of the concept you have about yourself. Environment where parents say things about you, where parents say things to you, where parents express their thought pattern, thought line about you, and to a point that they even tell it to you, has an advantage because of the emotional connection you have with parents. So parental opinion informs and influences the type of self-opinion. Number two, sibling opinion. Sibling opinion. What your siblings say about you, what your siblings say about you to you, what they say about you to each other to you, has that natural advantage of informing your self-concept. It is easier to believe what your siblings says about you to others, what they say about of the value of connectivity. They are so close to you that what they say carries weight. So sibling opinion determines self-concept. Sibling opinion. Number three, educator opinion. Right from educator opinion. What your educator says about you to you. What your educator say about you to other learners in the class. What your educator say about you to other educators carries so much weight, because you see your educator as a model of leadership. You look up to them as your natural leaders who have the skills about you to your classmates or to the other educators or to you directly view yourself. So this is a very critical element. What educators, and then number four, environmental element, peer opinion. What your peers say about you to you, the peers, peer opinion. What your peers say about you to you, and what they say about you to informs how you perceive yourself. So these things cannot be ignored or of environment. They are situational. You find yourself in this situation where you are relating to peers who have connection to these peers. What they say carries weight. Value of connection determines the weight of what the is high. What they say carries more weight. So environmentally, in a relationship setup, what your peers think about determines your self-concept. And then number 5, lover opinion. Lover opinion. A person you are in a love relationship with, what they say to you, my goodness, determines how you see yourself. Yeah, and these ones are very close to your heart. Closer than your siblings, closer than your educator. These ones are very close. My goodness, you must pray. Never find a lover who, because of the value of their connection, they carry power to determine your self-concept. This one is very dangerous. Positive sense of positive self-concept, because their lovers don't believe in them. Relationship issues and personal development. Just because you are wrong in the relationship does not make you wrong as a person. All right, so that's number 5. And the opinion. Now, the lover has been promoted to a spouse. There has been a commitment, marital commitment about you. Determines the opinion you have about yourself. Self-concept is informed and influenced by what your spouse, number 7, colleague opinion. Colleague opinion, your co-worker, the opinion of your co-worker determines, informs the kind and the type of self-concept you'll have about yourself. Whether it's a positive by these environmental elements, 7 environmental elements that I've made mention of. Number 1, parental opinion. Number 2, number 4, peer opinion. Number 5, lover opinion. Number 6, spouse opinion. Number 7, colleague opinion. What these positional in your mind is a picture which is an expression of their opinion about you. Naturally, you will see yourself through their, see yourself positively, and that will inform the development and the establishment of a positive self-concept. But if what they say to you, borrow their lens and see yourself through their lens, and this will affect your decision-making process. The people around you determines the opinion you have about yourself. And once this is an established philosophy, it is an established self-philosophy, personal philosophy. Now, when you are in business, chances are you won't make good decisions when you're surrounded by people whose opinion about you is not right. This will also determine resilience when you're going through pressure, when you're going through difficult times. It is easy to be resilient. It is easy to have staying power, stamina, to endure pressure when you are surrounded who believe in your makeup, who believe in your input. When you are surrounded by such, you develop a positive self-concept which is strong in its formation level. Such a concept helps you to maneuver through life in a winning mindset. You go through life's challenges through a winning thought pattern, because you are surrounded, my dear friends, to have a positive self-concept when you are surrounded from formation level for you to be affected by negative input when your foundation was built on the inputs of people who believes in you. In other words, if you were surrounded at foundational phase by people who believe in you, it matters not how difficult the journey may seem to be. The belief system of the ability to stand in tough times, your ability to stretch and not break, when you are surrounded by proper thought pattern, people whose expression about your dream is an endorsement broken by pressure. But when you're surrounded by people who undermines your efforts, you develop a mental order that naturally does not believe in your potential. So you become your own enemy. You contest yourself of the thought pattern of the people who surround you. So it is critical, if you want to establish self-concept, that you sift relationships, that you walk away from people who are toxic in opinion, who are toxic in question your potential, people who never praise your efforts, people who always have something wrong to say about your dream, something wrong journey. Such people, they make your environment to be toxic, and such an environment becomes a womb of becomes a womb of self-destruction. You become an enemy of self when whose idea and philosophy about you is negative. So you cannot develop a positive self-concept when you are surrounded by toxic people in your pursuits. And mostly the people whose input has such an effect, whether it's your closest circle, and I categorized it according to 7 environmental elements: your parents, your siblings, the opinion of your peers, the opinion of your lover, the opinion of your spouse, the opinion of your colleague, people who are mostly close. All right. And how does this affect you? The psychological effect of environmental elements that determines your sense of self-concept. Number one, you develop a mental picture. You develop a mental of what others say and think about you. You develop a mental picture. Now, here's the problem. If this picture is negative, even when you are not in the company of these people, this picture head, it is in your head. You don't hear me? The psychological effect that is caused by the opinion of your sibling, the opinion of your influencers, your educators, your peers, your lover, your spouse, and your colleagues. If their opinion is negative, even when you walk away from them, let's say from them, you share social space with them. When you walk away with them, when you walk away from them, the picture walks with you. So you develop a